So I'm going to start off here with a little bit just kind of a high-level rant about the market in general and my thoughts on kind of where we're at. And then we can kind of get into some actual game plans here for potential trade ideas, because I do see a potential long setup in the making here. So I'll share that with you guys. But overall, guys, and like especially if you're new, like, so I've been here for a long time. I've been in crypto for a long time. I've seen my fair share of bull runs, and I can confidently say the last, March, April, May, June, July, August, the last 6 months have been arguably some of the worst price action in a bull run that I've seen. Now, I've been around in bear markets, right, where you have very, very shitty, like this was awful price action here. But this was a bear market, right? And this was a terrible 6 months here. Terrible. This was a terrible time. But in terms of being like in a bull run still, because I do believe that this is like, let me be abundantly clear. Abundantly fucking clear. I am still of the belief that whatever the fuck this is, and however this resolves, maybe we go up and then we go down again. I don't know yet. But I believe that whenever this pattern ends, it ends like this. That's my personal belief. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's fucking over and this is the high and it's done. I don't think so. I am of the belief that when this consolidation ends, and there's a lot of people trolling, oh, is it a consolidation, but we're going down? Sure, whatever. Like, we are going down. We've been making lower highs and lower lows. Cannot deny that. But I believe that when this breaks out of this pattern, whatever the fuck you want to call this pattern, I believe that it ends in a big green candle. I do believe that we eventually trade above all of these highs, and this ends in a move up. So that is my high time frame thesis still at this moment, is that we end up higher than we are now, much higher. You know, potentially a full 100% return still available on Bitcoin, talking 6 figures. It doesn't mean that we're just going to do it from here. We could take out this low. We could come down and retest this wick and then go up. There's still a lot that can happen between here and 100K, but I'm of the belief that we still trade higher and we still see a new all-time high on Bitcoin this year in 2024. So with that out of the way, I'll go back to what I said at the start. I do believe that this has been a very difficult and shitty bit of price action to trade, because outside of really the shorts up here and the longs on these bounces, all this stuff in between has been very choppy and very difficult to play. So there hasn't been a ton of really good trading opportunities, at least for me, over the last 6 months. I have not taken that many trades. Some of the trades I've taken have been very forced, but I'm confident that we are going to end up higher. We have the election coming up in like 60 days. I just don't see this not resolving higher. However, it's been choppy and it's been difficult. And outside of these moments where like people get really offside, right? So the spreads are blown out, massive liquidations, massive spot buying, shit like that. Those have been the highest probability trade opportunities over the last 6 months, right? Is those kind of points where there's just kind of a massive amount of people offside on these dips or on these rips. Those have been the highest confidence trades, and I longed each one of these, right? But overall, the last 6 months, it's been tricky. I mean, yeah, there's definitely people making money. There's definitely people killing it, and kudos to them. But I think for the average person, this has been a very difficult consolidation to manage, because I think most people are hardwired to only want a long. And so it's very hard for people to, you know, they buy the dip, it's working, and then they buy the dip, and they give back all the money they made here on this. And then they say, okay, well, this time it's going to go up, it's going to break out, and then it just fully retraces. So every time we've bottomed, right, the move's fully retraced. We've bottomed, the move is fully retraced. We bottom, the move is fully retraced, right? So I think for a lot of people, especially if you're new, you're still learning, you're still early in your trading career, I think that this has been a relatively difficult period of time to trade. I don't think that this has been an easy area to trade. Doesn't mean that there hasn't been opportunities, but I think for a lot of people, I think they're getting fucking wrecked. I genuinely believe the majority of people out there are getting fucking smoked. And I think they're getting smoked for a couple of reasons. I think a lot of people are getting fucking smoked because all they know how to do is long. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? You want to be a bull in a bull market. But when price isn't just doing this, where it's going up nonstop and basically every dip you buy gets rewarded almost instantly, longing every dip is a lot harder when price is going sideways. And those dips are dips, but then, the pumps fully retrace. I think the other reason people are getting absolutely fucking smoked is we've basically been trading between 50K and 70K, let's call it. And a lot of the altcoins are down like ungodly amounts. So like look at something like TIA, right? Or INJ. Like a lot of these altcoins are down 70%. So this is when Bitcoin started consolidating in March. INJ is down 70%. TIA down even worse, 80%, right? So I think those are the two main reasons why people are getting wrecked. Is one, people have no ability to trade price action that isn't just unidirectional. So if it's not just going straight up and every single dip you buy gets rewarded, a lot of people can't trade that. Anything other than that environment, because that's when they got into the market, and you feel like a genius, right? Everyone's really smart when every time it dips, you say buy the dip, and then 2 days later, we're up 20% and everyone's happy. And then I think a lot of people are in altcoins. A lot of people are buying alts and they're in altcoins and they're getting absolutely fucking smoked. So you look at Bitcoin dominance, right? And this kind of tells you all you need to know. So basically, when Bitcoin started consolidating in March, Bitcoin dominance has just been in an uptrend. It's just going up. And as long as this is going up, altcoins are going to continue to underperform and continue to get smoked. And you're going to have people tell you, I'm still looking at like Dog with Hat and it bounced like, 80% off the low. But you still got to remember, since Bitcoin started consolidating, Dog with Hat is down 70%. So even though on the dips and then the bounces, it might bounce 30 or 40%, if you bought this back in March or April or May, you're down 40, 50, 60% from your entry. So it's very, very fucking tough to be an altcoin investor right now because they're getting fucking smoked. They're getting absolutely cooked. I do think that there's going to be some phenomenal altcoin buying opportunities in the future. It's just a matter of Bitcoin has to get bullish again. Everyone wants altcoins to go up because that's your ticket to get rich. That's what everyone has in their mind. Bitcoin is only going to go up 2x. I need something that's going to go up 20x. So you're looking at altcoins. All these altcoins are just leveraged Bitcoin. They're just leveraged Bitcoin. If you want these altcoins to get bullish again and start rallying and you want to see these crazy rips on alts, we need Bitcoin to go up. You need Bitcoin to be bullish first. Bitcoin going up, Bitcoin making a new all-time high, that's what brings money back into the market that then can proliferate to altcoins, to Ethereum, to Solana, and all the other bullshit. But right now, it's literally a Bitcoin-dominated market. Everything is fucking getting cooked by Bitcoin, and it's been a very difficult market, I think, for most people to trade. Again, because most people can only long. They only know how to long. They only know how to make money when it's going up. It's actually quite hard to short. Most people cannot make money shorting. So it's been a difficult market. So if you're getting fucking cooked, don't feel so bad about yourself, okay? I think the majority of people are getting absolutely smoked right now. Your number one modus operandi right now needs to be to survive. Don't lose all of your fucking money. Don't blow your stack. Don't nuke your trading account. Stick around because I still think that we're going to see all-time highs this year. Personally, I could be wrong. And because I believe that, you want to have money for when that happens, because if and when Bitcoin starts going up again, you're going to want money not just to buy Bitcoin, but to be able to trade. Because if Bitcoin starts going up again and we all of a sudden, let's say we do something like this. Let's say we get a little pop here, then we take out these lows, and then we start a move to all-time high. When this kind of shit happens, that's when altcoins start to go crazy and everything starts to go up. A rising tide raises all ships. So you're going to want to have money for when this shit fucking happens, right? Don't fucking just grind your account down to dust trying to trade this if you can't. An important part of being a trader or an investor is knowing which market environments you are able to make money in. If you have no ability to fucking short the market and it's going down, then what are you doing trying to long every dip? If you're like, hey, I'm a long only trader, well, guess what? Don't do anything until the market starts going up. If you don't have the ability to trade both directions and take profit on pumps and, short pops and then take profit at support and things like that, don't fucking do it. Know your role. Know what you're good at. Know the type of environment that you know how to trade in. And if it's not this type of price action, which is like choppy, kind of rangy, to be honest, downtrending price action, if you don't have an edge here, don't fucking push it. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. Sometimes the best trade is sitting on your hands and waiting for the environment to become conducive to what you know how to do and where you know how to make money. I think a lot of people don't know how to trade. I think a lot of people only know how to make money when things are going up because they're just throwing darts at a board. They're just buying altcoins because everything's going up. Great. Identify that in yourself and wait until those market conditions return, because that's not the conditions we're in right now. This is a low time frame trader's market. So unless you're actively trading the day, like the lower time frame charts, and you're taking trades, you're saying, okay, I'm shorting this little pop here and I'm going to cover down into here, or I'm long in this dip here and I'm going to cover up into resistance here. Unless you're taking these types of low time frame trades and you're trying to capture a couple $1,000 move on Bitcoin, if that's not you, don't fucking trade right now, right? Because you're going to get wrecked buying every dip. If you've bought every dip over the last 6 months, you're down. You're losing money because every pump has fully fucking retraced and made a lower low. So you got to know what you're good at. You got to know when your edge is there. And then that's when you fucking press the gas, right? And so for now, it's been tricky. This is not the optimal trading conditions for me. I know that. So I'm not over trading. Your goal is to survive. Make sure you have money. Make sure you have ammunition for when those favorable conditions return. You're going to be able to take advantage. Rant over. Survive. Don't fucking give all your money back to the market. If you made a ton of money during this, don't give it back during this. I still believe that price ends up way higher. That's my kind of overall high time frame thesis. So I do believe there's going to be tons of opportunity coming in the following weeks and months. So until then, if you're not having success right now, don't worry, don't stress. I think a lot of people are in the same boat. They're holding altcoins. They're down a ton. They're in meme coins. They got sucked into the meme coin super cycle, and all of the meme coins that they bought are getting absolutely fucking dog walked. But again, doesn't mean it's over. Just means you got to wait. You got to bide your time. You got to pick your spots. Think of it as like a sniper, right? You're waiting, picking your spots, knowing when you want to execute. Let's get into some actual actionable advice here. So right now I'm looking at the charts. I think that there's kind of two main trading ideas that I see here kind of on the lower time frames. So one is a sweep of Monday's low and potentially this low over to the left here and a long. So if we get some sort of move down below here, I think that would be a long I'd be willing to take. And I'd target probably up into these highs here towards, 60 to 62. That's the only kind of long idea I see. Now, potentially we get a bigger rinse and we actually take out this low too. Again, though, if that happens, if we run any of these lows and then we get some sort of bullish price action, right? So we run the lows and then we reclaim the level. That's a long I'm willing to take, and I think I would target into here. I don't know if we go up to these highs yet. I'm still not fully sure of where we are going to kind of go short term. I don't have the greatest read on the market on the short term here. And so I haven't been taking a ton of low time frame trades. But that's kind of what I'm looking at for potentially this week is like maybe we take out this low, Monday's low, and then we trade that up into here. There is still demand here, so there's that going for it. Now, on kind of the higher time frames, like you look at the 3-day chart, you look at the weekly chart, like this last weekly candle was a big, ugly, bearish kind of engulfing candle. So there's a chance that any sort of pop up we get here could very well end up with a big old puke, down maybe even below this wick. But I'm still of the mindset that on the weekly time frame, we're still in this large kind of weekly price leg. So price could come lower. We can come into the 40s, and I still think we could trade up from there. So I'm not really thinking it's over yet. I've seen a few people ask like, okay, well, where's your invalidation on, us making a new all-time high? I don't really think that we should be trading below this red line at any point. Like, if this is going to go down hard as fuck, I don't really see, like, this to me, I know this is a monstrous box here, but I don't think we should be trading below or within this box even for any significant period of time. So the lowest I would want to see price go is kind of in the low 40s. That would be worst case scenario. If for some reason we start trading and holding below 40K, I mean, I don't know, then every ETF buyer's under fucking water. Like, you know, it just doesn't seem to make sense to me. So I don't think that happens. I think there's still a pretty good chance that this is the low. Like, if you're looking at this on the monthly, we've continually now traded below this low here and closed back above. This wick went really fucking deep. So I'm still basically bull biased, assuming that this is the low. Can we come and make another lower low like I discussed? It's possible, but I'm operating on the belief that like this is the low here, and any sort of pullback into this wick is a buying opportunity. We have the election coming up in 60 days. So I think volatility is coming. Like, I think it's absolutely coming. And you just want to be ready. You want to have money and you want to be ready to take advantage. So that's kind of my thoughts on Bitcoin. Ethereum, I took this long. I ended up closing it last night because it just isn't really moving. We are still on support. So like, I still think that Ethereum is a long here with a stop below here until it's not, right? So it's just a matter of whether or not, you know, we're going to get that bump or we're going to get one more push down. But this has just been really shitty, kind of choppy price action. It's been super shitty to trade. It's not really been doing much outside of these big moves where you kind of get, every time we've had one of these big dumps, you kind of get a free long on the bounce every time. So it's just a matter of like, okay, is this going to actually lead to some sort of sustained, you know, rally now? I don't know yet, but I'm hoping that volatility is returning soon. Like, that's the fucking hope, is that, hey, we're actually going to get some sort of trending move happen in the next few weeks, where it's not just this kind of choppy bullshit that we've basically seen for the entire month of August. Like, what is this really? From here to here, we're in a 20% just sideways range for an entire month. Even though this was trading down, it's at least a trend, right? Like, you're getting drops, lower lows, lower highs. There's trading opportunities here. This is an uptrend, right? This is a downtrend. We had volatility. We had large price swings in both directions. Whereas here, this has just been kind of very low volatility, very tricky, and just not ideal conditions. So I'm hoping, whether it's to the upside or downside, we get some sort of move soon. So I'm hoping that Bitcoin basically is in the process of putting in its low. So I don't know whether that happens here or we get another move down, but I'm hoping we put in a higher low relative to this one, and then we get some sort of uptrend. That would be my dream scenario here. Why market sells off so much today? Well, I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of reasons. Primarily, we've basically had a V reverse here. So this thing dumped huge, biggest sell-off in like over a year, 2 years, and it completely V reversed right back into resistance here. So we're seeing a big sell-off here on equities. So you have the concern here, right, that this is like potentially some sort of double top. And if that's the case, and this is going to trade lower, that doesn't really bode well for crypto. The other thing that doesn't look good for crypto, in my opinion, is the dollar. So the dollar, we have this range that we've been in for fucking ever, right? And we took out the low, trade to the high, took out the low, trade to the high, took out the low. So like, if this is going to trade up here, along with how equities look, that's actually quite bearish for crypto generally. So, you know, we've had one of those days today where equities sold off really hard, and everyone's like, oh, look, fucking Bitcoin's holding up well and equities sold off. Generally, Bitcoin's just lagging in those situations. So you want to keep that in mind. It's not necessarily like a fucking amazing sign that, you know, Bitcoin's holding up just because equities went down. However, if we do get a bounce on equities, right? So let's say we open up tomorrow. We had a 12-hour shift here, right? This is bearish. So that's a break in structure to the downside, right? But there's a chance now that, hey, maybe we're going to trade up and then down again. And if that's the case, we're going to go up from here. Maybe crypto gets a little bit of a breather. So what I'm kind of looking at on Bitcoin, at least what I would like to see, is some sort of move below and then move up, and then maybe a larger correction down to here, and then, that's the bottom relative to here. So you long this, you put your stop down here. Maybe you take a trade from here to here. Maybe you short from here to here. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm looking at here, is whether or not we take out this low here or we just go up from here. I don't know yet. But I would like to see a move up above these highs along with a bounce in equities, maybe this week.